Outlaw King. It's a bit like the part of Braveheart, the second part that no one ever knew about. So why is it so important to tell this story, and why did you want to be involved?
It's a very good question. Well, I definitely knew about Wallace when I was a child. I'd read about it. I'd read a little bit about Robert the Bruce. I just think that the script was very interesting, and the man himself is a compelling, historic, iconic figure that not just in Scotland, not just in England, but universally around the world, that a lot of people that I think should be told. He's got such. Well, the thing is, difference with Wallace, Bruce had lands. He was aristocracy. He had lands in England. He had lands in Scotland, and he decided to give that up, to give it all up for a greater cause, for liberty, for the freedom of Scotland. And obviously within that, there was great sacrifice. So I think, and also in a sort of in a military sense, he was a bit of a military genius. In many ways, the genesis of guerrilla fighting came from him. The way he fought England, the way he fought Edward I, attacking small garrisons, using bogs, because he was always outnumbered, so you had to outthink him as opposed to outfight him. But I just think that, and it's also there was a woman in his life as well. Florence Pugh plays beautifully. That it's a very powerful part of it as well. So I think a lot of people can relate to the film, and of a man that he was. It's very much a David and Goliath story, if you will, and the sort of someone who was who cared more about his own people, or the liberty of his own people, than he cared about riches or land, as it were, which. I guess nowadays some people could take a page out of that book, in many ways, and have a little bit more compassion for their fellow man and woman. Me, my speechwriter's going to get a tip for that. No, I'm kidding. It's all from me, honestly. But no, I just feel that there's a side to that speaks volumes about humanity, us as people, that you have all these things and great, but deep down inside he knew something wasn't sitting with him, and it was the fact that, what is this, clothes, these riches, whatever he felt. Yeah, it's nice to have comfort, of course, but at the same time, if your conscience isn't comfortable in many ways, then I don't know, maybe you're living a lie. Maybe he thought he was living a lie. So the fact that he sort of rose up with this band of men, and in many ways, I was telling someone, it's more about than Scotland and England. It's Scotland, England. Yes, of course, there's those elements, and it's not just about Scotland. It's the English history, British history, and how universal that is, and how a story of this, it's like Stephen Delane plays Edward I beautifully, but he's almost as tyrannical to his son, Edward II, Billy Howell, the Prince of Wales, and he is bloody the Scots, So there's many different elements and shades in the film that are universal way to how to treat people and how not to treat people in many ways, So I hope people relate to that, I hope so. Well, no, I think there's Angus Og MacDonald is a character that, he's an iconic man, and not many people know who he is either. It's Robert the Bruce, actually, on his gravestone, on Angus Og's gravestone, which I went to visit in Iona. It says on it in Latin, "One more push and Scotland's free, Lord of the Isles, my trust in thee." And that was what Bruce said about Angus Og MacDonald. It's on his sarcophagus. So they were obviously very tight. They were very close kinsmen. He fought with them at Loudon Hill and also at Bannockburn, 1314. So, at that time, to have a man or woman by your side as an advisor that are completely behind you no matter what is, we all need that, we all need that. So to actually, and also to work with this man who's next to me, and all the actors in this, it was a great collaborative experience. If you were having a tough day, trying to work something out as a character, if David, everybody's chipping in, everybody was extremely helpful. So I'm very proud of about the process and how and how gregarious and how what a shared experience it was. So I hope that comes over on the screen.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
Thank you
it's nice
so
to talk
much.
to you
Lovely
both.
to meet
Nice
you.
to talk to you.